Okay, welcome to Module 8, BPAVE. I'm so excited that we're at this very last stage of the Business Plan Academy for Veterans and Entrepreneurs. I'm Dr. KD Ewulu. I've been your facilitator and guide and coach over the last 8 weeks. And I must tell you, it's been very exciting. Without much ado, I want to just jump into what we need to do today, what we expect to help guide us over the week's assignments. Last week and over the last 2 weeks, we focused on our financials. And I must say that a lot of our participants had a really exciting time trying to put together their numbers. Okay, we worked on our loan payback schedule. We worked on our income statements and marketing budgets and staffing budgets and what have you. And it was very exciting over the last 1 week to help participants tidy up their financial plans ready for funding. So basically, they have the finances. What they need now, what you all need now, is the business plan document itself. And this week, we're working on part 1 of the business plan document. And when I say part 1, I mean the first 6 parts. And if you scroll down on the screen to Module 8, you see what those first 6 parts entail. We're going to be looking at our title, the title slide, what it will entail, what we do, the opportunity, the target market, the market size, and the competition. This is our homework for the week. All right. Having said that, I want to just encourage us to understand that we are about 90% done with the program. All that we need now is to get our business plan document completed this week. And next week, we're going to be doing part 2 of that, which will talk about our business model and how exit strategy for our investors and good things like that. But let me not jump ahead of the horse, okay? Let's just scale back a little bit and get back to what we have to do this week. Now, for those of you who already know, you can download your guide for this week that details your assignments from the Module 8 platform. When you get to the Module 8 platform, you look on the right-hand side, you see materials, you right-click on that, and you're going to see a list of the downloads that you need. Basically, what I'm going to be sharing with you right now is a list of those downloads that you should have had by now since Sunday night. If you haven't, you can get them done today and then begin to use that as a guide to get your assignments done. Remember, all we're doing this week is 6 slides. Most of the information you need will be on 1 slide. Okay, so without much ado, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the first slide that we're going to be looking at today, which you all already do have, and that is the title slide. Okay, if you have access and you're looking at my screen right now, this is the title slide. This is what you're expected to do this week, okay? It's a PowerPoint presentation you're going to be working on this week and next week. This is your first slide, and this is the information it should contain. Your company name, all right? For example, my company name is KDE Leadership LLC, and the acronym, okay, is Optimizing Your Potential. So simple as that. You can go ahead with that, with the module that I've given you. I've given you a template, okay? You just go to that first sheet, that first slide, and go ahead and use your company name there. Secondly, you want a short description of your company, okay? For example, at KDEL, our short description will go this way. We help startups and small businesses by providing training for business setups, improving productivity, cutting down inefficiencies, increasing profits, managing projects, and change through the practice of virtual operations. Remember, the shorter the sentence, the better. You're trying to fit all this into 1 slide, okay? Then, of course, you want to have the name and contact details of your presenter. 1 person, sometimes it could be 2 or 3, depending on who the decision makers are in your organization. If you're not presenting in person, it's advisable to include the name of that person of the principal officer of the firm on that first slide, okay? Someone who can speak knowledgeably and confidently of what your firm can do, either on a phone call or a Zoom call or what have you. Someone that inquirers can get to and get all the information they're looking for. And then, of course, at the very bottom, you have your website URL. You're presenting all this on one slide, okay? Always highlight your website URL because that's where people will go to get information from you, all right? Secondly, now that I've shared with you your title slide, the next slide that you need to go to will be the slide that says the what we do slide, okay? Now that's your second slide, okay? And that shows your elevator pitch, all right? What your company does and can do for your clients or funding partners, all right? This should give a clear and short description of your products and services, your market and your competitive advantage. Remember, when we call it an elevator pitch, we mean assume that you are you are in an elevator with a decision maker. You have about 30 seconds to 1 minute to make your pitch right in there. It's got to be in the top of your head. This is a page that you memorize, that you cram, that at a moment prompting, you spit all that information out, okay? So the information there will be, what do you produce? What service do you provide? Who and where is your market? Okay? What advantages do you have over your competitors? Price, quality, after-sales service, packaging, delivery, quantity. Okay, that means that you have something that other people do not have. And this is very critical, all right? Remember to use vibrant language, embed audios or videos into that presentation so as to demonstrate your product or service, all right? Now, this is your second slide, all right? Now, I'm going to share the third slide that you need to provide, all right? You need to show to your people. And that is, I'll be sharing the opportunity slide, all right? The opportunity slide showcases to your prospective investors, what is the size of the opportunity? Is this a $2 million market or $500,000 market? To what level can your idea take on and grow? They want to see that there's room for growth, okay, in your potential market, all right? What size can your company potentially grow to? So you're telling them, hey, look, I'm starting small right now, but if you invest in me in 2 years or in 3 years, we're going to be at 3 times the size or 4 times the size or 10 times the size, okay? That's what people want to see. They want to see the potential that your company or your business has to grow, okay? What size can you grow to? What are your plans for future development? Are you planning to diversify? Are you planning to take a bigger chunk of the market? These are things they want to hear. How much value can your opportunity generate for your investors? Meaning, how much profit can they make? Okay. Now, your investors could either be angel investors or venture capitalists, and I'm going to describe them a bit here. Angel investors are accredited small investors with private funds, okay? They can invest early into your business. They'll give you less money, not as much as you will want, and they can elect to receive equity as their payback. Equity means part ownership of your company. So they can give you money from $100,000 to 1.5 million, but they can say, you know what, don't pay us back. For this, seeing how quickly your company can grow, we want to have 40% ownership of your company for the next 10 years, after which we sell at the going market price. Okay, so this could be stuff you can negotiate. These are angel investors. You want to pitch to them, first of all, because you don't want too much pressure. When you go to venture capitalists, they'll invest in small companies, but they generally use money that is pulled in from other investment companies. So their interest rates will be high. They might want to be more involved in the management of your company to ensure that their money is used correctly. So you may have to meet more stringent requirements, okay? So they can also expect part ownership. They still want to be paid back with interest. You can raise up to between $5 and $8 million from venture capitalists. It all depends on what you want, okay? So this is your opportunity slide. Going forward, after that, we're going to be looking at, the next one we're going to be looking at is what we do. All right, your target market slide, permit me for that, my apologies. Your target market slide. Now, your target market slide is the fifth slide. It showcases the specific customers that your business targets, okay, is going to answer certain questions. Who are your customers? What demographics do they belong to? Their race, their age range, their education level, gender, veterans, sportsmen, women, what have you. What's their financial strength like, okay? Where are they primarily located? For instance, you can have a business that's targeted at producing non-sugar-based soft drinks for students. So you're focusing on schools and school districts. You can be producing things like catheters. So you're producing stuff for hospitals and clinics. It all depends. Your would-be investors want to know who your target market is. Okay? What needs will your product or service meet in their lives? Is it a technological need, a medical need, an educational need, what have you? They want to know that. Try to identify an underserved demographic, segment, or location. People want to see that where you're heading into, there's a need for you there. And you won't be easily devoid of customers coming who need your service, okay? You want to go somewhere where there's a lot of demand for the service that you provide. Now, that is the fifth slide, or the fourth slide that talks about your target market, all right? So I'm going to go to the next one, which is, let me see now. The next one will be the size of the market. Okay, that's your next slide. Slide number 5 is the size of your market. Okay, it showcases the population and geographical and sector size of your targeted clientele. Okay, it will answer certain questions again. What is the numerical strength in your selected market? Does your market include 500,000 people, 1 million people, 20 million people? What currency amounts are available for spending on your market? You can say we have a 10 billion kwacha or 10 billion shilling or 10 billion euro market out there, okay? I'm trying to get a chunk of it, maybe 10%, 20%, whatever the case may be. But these are the things that people want to hear of on those slides, okay? What is the past growth cycle of like in your market? Because, you know, business goes in cycles. If you're on the upward tick, that's when people want to come in. If you're on the downward tick, that's when you should contract and wait for the market to get better. People want to see exactly in your industry, whether you're on the upward cycle or on the downward cycle, to know when to invest, okay? Have you studied the trends to know whether your industry is currently in a downward or upward growth trend, okay? So it's preferable, of course, to buy when the price is trending down so that you can sell when the price is going back up, okay? So you have to know what the cyclical trends are, what the future holds for your business in terms of pricing, demand, and competition. You also want to identify soon to emerge alternative markets to ensure your future sales are guaranteed. These are all things that you want to do to ensure that you provide information about your market size. Having said that, the final thing we're going to be looking at today will be final thing we're looking at today is the competition, the competition slide. This is our 6th slide. I know it says here 7th slide, but one is just why is ahead is because we had a cover slide, okay? Not the titles, a cover slide. So now this is your 6th slide, and it talks about the competition. Of course, you're not operating in a void. Whatever business you're going into, you're going in there because you've seen other people in that business, other companies in that business who are making good money, okay, good profit. So you want a part of that. So you want to detail who your competition is, okay? People who are providing the same product or service, who were there prior before your entry, okay? So now your slide should focus on answering some of the following questions in a bulleted format. What portion of this existing market do you think you can obtain, okay? How does your product compare to those of your competitors? We discussed that earlier on about the opportunity, all right? Do you have more quantity in your bottles, on your packages? Do you have more quality? Do you have less pricing? Do you have more after-sales service? These are all different things that you can put together to give you a competitive advantage, okay? So you're comparing with others. How does it compare with after-sales service, referral programs, warranties? Okay, there are certain, for car sales, there are certain cars that will give you free tires for 4 years. There are others that will give you free servicing for 4 years. Okay, you drive into the lot and get your car service free of charge just because you bought a brand new car from them. That is a good after-sales service perk that draws the market, that drives the market. So you find something you can offer your prospective customers that other competitors do not yet offer them, okay? And you go ahead and do that. Be ahead of the curve. And that's what your will-be investors want to see at this stage, okay? What entry barriers exist in your selected industry for new businesses such as you? The thing is that every business, every sector has barriers set in place. Regulatory bodies have come in and set up regulations to ensure that that market is not flooded. You need to understand what those are. In some places, you have to pay a huge sum of money to even operate in that business, licenses and patents and things like that. You want to find that out, okay? So you're not taken by surprise. You get in there and find that you don't have enough money to document and get your stuff together because you didn't do your due diligence, okay? How can you overcome and leverage these entry barriers? Most times it's just funding. If you understand that you need a couple of $100,000 to cover all the requirements of the industry, then you make that provision in your financial statement so that your financiers, your investors can provide that money for you. Remember to only promise what you can easily and cost effectively deliver. Don't promise what you cannot deliver, okay? It's always better to under-promise and over-deliver. You're seen as a great guy who's doing a great job if you can under-promise and over-deliver. All right. Now, having said that, I'm just going to go back to final sheet just for you to see where we're at. Okay, and then we'll be closing. I'm looking there to see whether there are any questions. I know that some of us are ahead of the game, but this is very critical. As I said, for those of you who have some questions, you can always ask your questions at support@kdeleadership.com. I repeat, send your emails to support@kdeleadership.com. Or if you're on Facebook Live, you just go to the comment section right now or later on and write in your questions, and we'll respond to you very quickly. I know that you need those answers over the next two or 3 days, so we'll do that as well. In lieu of, if I do not see any other questions on the chat box, I'm looking at the chat box now, and I don't see any questions, I'm going to call it a night. I know that all of us are busy people. So what I really want to say is, if you look at this page, you see what you need to do. We've got that title slide. If you click on that, it's going to open up for you the materials that you need to guide you, which is what I've shared with you. What we do will open up that, the opportunity will open up that, the target market will open up that, market size is there, and competition. Next week, we're going to be looking at the other 7 topics, okay? And I'll just give you a sneak peek there, even though you don't have to do anything right now. Next week, we're going to be working on your team, your business model, your milestones, your financials, your funding, the upside, and updates and cloud storage. For now, I'm just going to collapse that because that's not what we're working on right now. We're working on module 8. Remember, my name is Dr. KD Ewulu. I'm here to help. Send us an email, send me a text. Just get in touch if you need help over the next couple of days so we can get you over the hump. Having said that, I'm going to leave you guys alone right now. There are no texts or no questions on the chat box, so I'm going to call it a night. I hope that you guys will settle down and get this done. I want to say congratulations for getting to 90% of completion. We're nearly there. 2 more weeks, this week and next week, you have everything you need to fund your business and to take it to the next level. So I want to say congratulations on that. Keep the faith, keep your head down, get in there. You are nearly there. I'm proud of you. I'll see you guys on our next Q&A session on Thursday. Take care now and stay safe out there.